I mean, it's a law. I don't know whether in the first place should be there or not. But these ordinances, even they were compelled to issue these ordinances.
Yes, my lord. And that was the justification given in the public domain.
Mr. Makhdoom Ali Khan, that's, I would say, that's speculation. I mean, the language doesn't say that I'm doing it for this purpose. So
My
let's
lord,
stick to the language, but the
in-
president has to at least say, but this circumstance is immediate. I mean, whatever we are going now to intent, it's malafide or bona fide, but on the face of it, he's not stating what is necessary to take immediate action. That this is the reason why I'm doing it.
This was
Nothing.
this was for the government to place before the president that these were the circumstances on the basis of which we are proposing the ordinance, and if the president is satisfied, then the ordinance has to be accepted.
My lord, I'm not.
And one thing more, whether the respondent is behind the bar, whether under any provision of the NAB ordinance, he is also facing the miseries of that ordinance.
Yes, my lord. Yes, that's correct. So,
Makhdoom Sahab, is there any data which would show the damage caused by NAB to the economy, to the freedoms of the individuals, and by violating their fundamental rights? I think by now there must be a lot of data.
my lord, there are some judgments of this honorable court. There were a couple of reports which were also
Are you
placed.
now arguing that the entire NAB ordinance is illegal?
No, my lord, my
So but
submission.
if you are saying this, then I assume you're saying
my submission at that time was.
No, abhi.
अभी नहीं, अभी भी सर ये है
आप सिर्फ एक ब्रिगेडियर असद मुनीर का सुसाइड नोट देख लीजिए. That is sufficient. No one can bring back Brigadier Asad Munir.
My lord,
But he left with that. I think that should be brought on record. And I mean, I think that for NAB, speaking for myself, I don't know whether NAB is still abusing its powers or not.
My lord, my submission was on the constitutional plane slightly different. My submission was that this is first about the antecedents, then this is also a unique litigation. Citizens usually come to this honorable court or go to the high court to challenge that a particular statute is too rigorous and is too disproportionate, that it violates the fundamental rights to dignity, the right not to be tortured, the right to life. This is the first time when the statute, the rigors of a provision of a penal statute were reduced. And a person came forward and said, reduction in penalties.
So I have the very uncharitable task of interrupting because I want to make progress.
My lord,
we
yes.
would love to hear you, but today's date was propositions.
My lord,
So can you just, because the benefit of these arguments should be made when this number one can hear them.
My lord.
So can we come back to, sorry, I have
No, not at all, my lord.
have this
this is very.
a task which I don't cherish, but as the head of the bench, I have to do it. I want to keep you on track. Please cite the propositions.
It's very welcome relief, my lord, and I'm grateful to your
also-
lordship for that. May I say,
Makhdoom Sahab, there is also a possibility that the respondent may want to strike down or request striking down the entire law. Now he is the victim.
my lord, the first
जब वो
proposition,
petition आएगी हम देख लेंगे.
first proposition related to these proceedings before the bench being quorum non judice. In
हाँ, ये
view
तो
of-
हो गया आपका argument. हाँ.
The second was the maintainability of the petition in view of the judgment of this honorable court in Benazir Bhutto and dependency of the petition in Islamabad High Court.
ठीक.
The third submission was the antecedents of the petitioner himself
ठीक.
having promulgated these ordinances, then subsequently challenging. Fourthly, the locus standi of the petitioner. There was not a word in the petition.
Do
that-
you, if for challenging a law, do you need locus standi?
My lord, my submission is that you need to have some standing, otherwise it will become a situation which is this honorable court has always avoided.
No, but 184 doesn't say that.
True, my lord.
Any matter of public importance seeking enforcement of fundamental rights.
Yes.
You can knock out the petitioner on these grounds, but can you say you don't have a locus standi? He may say whole of Pakistan is affected. So
My submission was that this was a purely
locus standi you need in 199, not in 184.
but even in 184, your lordship will not decide a purely academic or political
No, it's not
controversy.
academic.
Makhdoom Sahab, adding to
sorry.
what my lord has stated, 184.3 is discretionary.
My lord.
We have 57,000 pending petitions here. So why should this court consume the other litigants' time in a matter, you see, where the bona fides of the petitioner we are not satisfied with it. And the matter is also pending before the high courts. Now here in this case, as my Lord Justice Mansoor Ali Shah has observed, that, you see, they were part of the parliament. They could have contested this. So, absolutely, I agree with my lord that these are important questions which must be addressed.
Those will come, my lord, regarding to antecedents, bona fide and standing. These three will get a bit conflated, but they will have to be taken together. His antecedents, his bona fide and his standing, because it was also
It's
shown.
also very important. It's those 57,000 litigants in this court. Their time is being consumed. So if the matters can be resolved or decided by the high courts, why should this court take the time of other litigants?
The next submission made, my lord, after the bona fides was that there was no actual case or controversy before this honorable court. No,
What does that mean?
my lord, no order passed on the basis of these laws was being challenged. No proceedings which were taking place.
Is it necessary to challenge the act?
My lord,
Before challenging the act, there must be some order.
my lord,
The order was actually passed.
Your
All the
lordship
cases
has-
were transferred.
your lordship has made a test, and the test which your lordships have articulated it, that where a challenge is made to a statute, that challenge can be made on two bases. One, the statute in its operation affects the rights of a person, or the statute is ex facie discriminatory. In the second situation, you must show that you do not have to wait for the operation of the statute. You must show that on the face of it, this statute.
We are noting your proposition.
Yes,
You will expand later.
Yes,
The next proposition.
And therefore, and there was nothing which showed that the statute was ex facie discriminatory.
Don't make me more unpopular.
My lord.
Next proposition.
Next proposition. Next proposition was that this honorable court, in a series of judgments, have said that before striking down any statute, the court must place the statute next to the Constitution. It must presume that it is valid and try to find every reason for its validity. And only when that fails must the statute be struck down.
Next.
And this was neither addressed in the submissions nor pleaded. Next submission was that a statute which reduces the rigors of the law cannot be violative of the fundamental rights of the citizens of the country, because it is to their advantage and not to their detriment. Next, my lord, was that a retrospective legislation is not forbidden by the Constitution.